everybody, this is Keith here of Euphoria Pictures. Welcome back to my channel. Right folks, so as promised, I am back to do an unboxing and 4K review for my latest pickup that I got for Jaws the Revenge. Now this is a Universal Collector's Edition. It does come with a lenticular cover. You've also got a beautiful looking steelbook inside it. And then of course all the bells and whistles. You got the double-sided poster, the booklet and postcards. And this set is limited to 2,000 copies. Now if you're familiar with the collector's editions that we got for part 2 and 3, you should be very familiar with this one. They look almost identical. As a matter of fact, all three of them go beautifully together. And I'm hoping someday Universal might revisit the original one and bring us out a collector's edition that will pair up beautifully with the three. Fingers crossed that will happen. And it goes without saying, folks, I will be taking you around this one and giving you a closer look at it. Looking forward to doing so. So I have to tell you, this was a far better experience, particularly over part 3. And when I'm talking about a better experience, I mean the movie itself and its 4K transfer. Now, I was warned by so many people that this was quite poor. So I braced myself. I went into this with my expectations rock bottom. And I have to tell you, I did not hate this movie. I didn't hate it near as much as I thought I was going to. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's a masterpiece. Far from it. There is huge issues that I have with it. One in particular, I remember when we were watching it, I looked at Ellen and I was like, are they really going down this route? Yes, the shark is out for revenge on this one particular family. It sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it is true. Yes, the shark does roar like a lion, and the ending does feel somewhat anticlimactic. But you know what? There's something about it that I enjoyed. Maybe it is the throwbacks to the original movie. It was great to see Lorraine Gary back as well. And you know what? She never missed a beat. I thought she was fantastic in it. And I think the cast was far better over the third one as well. But that's not saying much. You know, you do have the likes of Michael Caine in there. And he does put in a somewhat underwhelming performance. Lance Guest as well, who I think was far better in the role than Dennis Quaid. And then, of course, you've got Mario Van Peebles. And the less I say about him, the better. Very forgetful performance. And I'm very kind in just saying that and leaving it alone. But there is one thing I did see. I seen an interview with Michael Caine. I thought this was quite brilliant. He was been interviewed and he was talking about Jaws the Revenge. And it was right at around the time where he wanted to buy a house for his mother. But his mother felt that he didn't have the money to buy her a house. So he took on Jaws the Revenge. He was given $1 million for the role. It was only 2 weeks' work. And after the movie came out, somebody came up to Michael Caine and said that Jaws the Revenge is absolutely horrendous. And his response was fantastic. He turned around to your man and he says, you know what? I never seen the movie, but I did see the house that the movie bought for me mother, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And I thought it was just genius. What a fantastic response. I have all the respect in the world for Michael Caine. And like I said, even though his performance is underwhelming, I was just so happy to see him in the movie. Now, the shark itself as well, he does look better than part 3, but that's not saying much. There's something about the set pieces in this just look so much more impressive. But again, nothing ever comes close to the original. The one thing I did get when it comes to parts 3 and 4, after watching them, you get this brand new appreciation for part 2. I think that's a solid sequel, and I don't think it gets the love that it deserves. But none of them, absolutely none of them, come remotely close to the original. I think Spielberg just set the bar too high. I don't think any shark movie out there came remotely close, and I think that says a lot. Now, in terms of special features that you get on this release, it is very simple. You've got an alternate ending, and I have to tell you, I think the alternate ending looks better. They should have stuck with it. And I'm happy to tell you that the alternate ending is in 4K with HDR as well. Right folks, so I'm going to take you around this release, give you a close look at it, and then I'm going to come back and talk about its 4K transfer. So yeah, here we go. Right, so here we go, Jaws the Revenge. So naturally there is a J card. I want to bring it in and let's just have a quick look at it. So as per usual, you get the right above the movie on top, shows you all the contents inside, limited to 2,000 copies. You got your bonus features and your credits there in the middle, and then all your technical information down the bottom. And it goes without saying, folks, it's held on by glue spots, so be very careful when removing. Right, so put that to a side, let's get on with the release itself. So like I said at the start of this video, it is a lenticular cover. It's not particularly active. It just adds depth to the picture. The rating there is a sticker. It can be removed. Now in terms of the artwork, I think it's very dramatic. I absolutely love it. I presume that's Lorraine Gary's character. You got the boat there as well, and of course you got Jaws. And you got the waves and all that kind of stuff. So it's a beautiful bit of artwork on this. Now the one thing I do love about it is what I love about all of Universal Collector's Editions, but their artwork continues onto the rest of the set, which I'll be showing you now very, very soon. So that is the main artwork. I'm going to take us to the top of it. You've got Jaws the Revenge, a nice high gloss finish on the rest of this box set. And right to the bottom, that's what I'm talking about. You can see a bit more of the artwork going on. You can see a bit more of the boat. And then of course you got your limited number 569 of 2000. And then right onto the spine, you'll notice on the top you got your 4K and Blu-ray logo, the title of the movie, and then Universal at the bottom. And again, more of that artwork continuing onto the spine of it. And then right around to the back, and as you can see, it's underwater looking up. You got the swimmer, you got the boat there as well, and this time it's personal. Very, very simplistic artwork on the back of this, but look, it's Jaws we're talking about here, so it works very, very well. So not much else to be said. Like I said, high gloss finish on that as well. And then onto the spine we go again, and this is all the contents that we are going to be looking at. So open it up and let's get going with the contents. Another thing I just wanted to quickly comment on as well, the actual box itself. It's not necessarily like a real hard, rigid box, but it's not particularly flimsy either. It's quite nice, so I'm quite happy with it. Right, so up first we have the postcards. Now I've said this when it comes to Universal and their postcards, but the way that they're presented I think looks absolutely fantastic. So just a couple of stills from the actual movie itself. There's 4 of them all together. And then when I turn around to the back, you just simply got Jaws the Revenge. And it's the same on every single one of them. So yeah, nice postcards you get with this one. Then you've also got your double-sided poster, which I'm going to put lengthways so you can get an idea of it. I can get it in frame, that is. So as you can see, you got Jaws the Revenge, you got the shark once again. I'm presuming this is some original artwork for the movie. Again, I have no history with this movie, so I'm not quite sure. But you will notice that you do have the 5 main characters in the movie itself. And I'll just quickly show you the rest of it there. And then turn it around, and you'll notice that it is the artwork that's on the main box of this release. Again, it could be some more original artwork, I honestly don't know. So yeah, that is just a quick look at the double-sided poster on this one. Then you've also got a nice booklet here, lovely high gloss finish to it. Of course you got Jaws there on the cover and the title above. And right around to the back, as you can see, it's the same artwork that we got on the main box itself. So if you're aware of Universal Collector's Editions, you kind of get an idea of what the booklets are all about. You know, it's a bit of the production, there's the history of the movie, all that kind of stuff. And then you'll also notice that they're covering special effects there as well. And then of course you got a few stills from the actual movie itself. So a nice little booklet there you get with it. So put that to a side, and lastly we go on to the steelbook itself. And it's a beautiful steelbook, it really is. I love this thing that they're doing with these steelbooks. You got it in part 2 and 3. You got the mouth of the shark, and then you got a picture in the middle of it, and as you can see, it is Lorraine Gary's character. You got the boat there as well. And there's something about the artwork design in these steelbooks I absolutely love. Got the title of the movie, and it has a lovely high gloss finish on the steelbook. The one thing they could have done to it though is if they put a bit of embossing on the teeth, I think it would have added so much to the steelbook. I think it would have looked a bit more sinister. So that is the main artwork of the steelbook. This is the spine of it. And right around to the back, and as you can see, it's just a still from the movie. It's close to the ending of it. You've got the 4 characters on the boat, and you've simply got the ocean. And like I said, nice high gloss finish on the steelbook itself. And what I'll do is I'll open it up in full and let's just have a look at it. But there you have it. So yeah, I have to give all the credit in the world when it comes to these steelbooks that you get with these collector's releases. They look fantastic. So inside we go, and you've got your 4K disc. And then, of course, you've got your Blu-ray disc. Hopefully it'll come out. There we go. And lastly, this is the inside of the steelbook itself. Again, it's a scene from the movie close to the ending of it. So that is everything inside this release. I'm going to do a quick recap. You've got the lovely steelbook with this. Of course, you got that high gloss booklet. You get the poster as well, double-sided. And then you've got your postcards as well, beautifully presented. And then, of course, the box that holds it all in. Another great effort from Universal. Right, so on to the 4K transfer. Now, I cannot believe these words are coming out of my mouth, but you know what? I have to be somewhat truthful about this. But I think this 4K transfer looks better than Jaws, if you can imagine that. But you know what? It's true. I cannot believe I'm saying that, but it is true. And I have to give all the credit in the world to Universal for the work they have done here and getting this movie looking the way that it looks, even though there's not a huge fan base out there for it. Now, the one thing I noticed right from the get-go is how clean the image looks on this. They scrubbed it up so incredibly well. I couldn't see any kind of specks of dirt or anything like that. The grain structure on this one is very, very fine and beautifully consistent. And grain haters, you have absolutely nothing to worry about here. Overall, the sharpness to the picture looks absolutely incredible. There is just so much fine detail to be seen across the board on this image. And then when you throw in those increased HDR colors as well, everything just looks, everything just got a new lease of life. I'm not saying that the colors look overly vibrant. They don't. They just look a bit more deeper, a bit more bold. And I couldn't be happier with what I was seeing here. And then you throw in those increased deep blacks and shadow detail, just adds so much to the image. And there's moments in this movie where the depth is just absolutely extraordinary. It does look like you could just put your hand in the screen, take out whatever you want. It really is a convincing 4K image. And again, all the credit in the world has to go to Universal. It is an absolutely spectacular 4K transfer. And if you're a fan of this movie, I think you're going to be ecstatic with how this one looks. Now, it also comes with Dolby Atmos, and I was equally impressed by this soundtrack. It is quite an active mix. Now, there's not one scene that I can really single out. If I was to, maybe the score of the actual movie itself. There's just a great sense of presence to it. You'll appreciate some of the bass that you're going to hear throughout. Not only that, but when you see all those, or hear all those underwater scenes, you do get a nice bit of activity in terms of your rear speakers and your higher channels. And there is a nice bit of bass in there as well. The dialogue is beautifully clean. There's a nice bit of separation there with your speakers. All in all, it's a solid Dolby Atmos soundtrack. And I could not be happier with the results that we are getting here. So there you have it, folks. I just wanted to stop by and share my thoughts on this 4K disc. And as you can tell by the video, I was very, very impressed by it. And like I said, if you're a fan of this movie, I definitely think it's worth checking out. So there you have it, folks. So as per usual, if you did like what you see here, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you could do, leave a comment down below. And please do share your thoughts on this movie and what did you think of this release of it. And yeah, I hope to see you all again real soon with my next video. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.